Yeah, this is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go!
Morning, everybody.
Morning. This show is 100% COVID-free. Why? Because Sean's not here.
Today we talked about all sorts of things, like what no one is allowed to touch at your house.
Yes.
With a surprise little cameo from Lockie from The Bachelor.
I know, a bit of fun, isn't it? We talk about the best thing that you've ever pulled out of the bin. They're a bit of fun. Yeah.
Steve Butler talked sport.
Yes.
And other things.
Yes. We dissect last night's episode of Hunted. And
We're
also,
on board.
Natalie could not stop asking me 1,000 questions about my new tap.
So fascinated by it.
She wanted to know everything and demanded I kept on speaking about it.
Wait, tell me more.
Okay, it's matte black Frankie Pescara 360 mixer pull-out.
Oh, he's still talking. Sorry, I nodded off for a second.
Your eyes closed. Get it.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
It's going to sound really sad, but I had a great weekend because I got my new tap installed.
What about that sounds sad?
You know what?
Hey, Sean had a better weekend. He got COVID.
When your life's a bit small, personally, things like this really put a pep in your step.
What's amazing to me is that you're using it. Because you don't like to use new things in your life.
I have never gone to the sink more in my life. Just the joy of turning this tap on, and it's got like a mixer hose thing that you can. I used that a couple of times.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, but remember the first time you used it? Was it a bit of fun? Oh,
I mean, water came out of it. I mean, I've had running water for a while, so it's not new to me.
I know, I've had running water, which is great. So the well days stopped in Kalgoorlie, and they were a bit dry.
Yeah,
to be
it was
honest.
a pretty deep well.
Yeah, but no. So I got it installed, and then like afterwards, I just sat at the kitchen bench and just looked at it for a bit, and I posted a picture on Instagram, and then I was really happy to read the comments of people that liked it. I now know what it's like when parents post a picture of their kid, and then the people come back and go, "Oh, your daughter's so gorgeous."
Suggesting
What?
that a child is the same as a tap? Is that where you're sitting at this moment?
I think I am.
So, Amy, who's given birth to 2 children, would like to disagree.
Oh, Amy, you wouldn't want to give birth to this one. This was a big tap. A big
A bouncing
tap.
baby tap.
I had a couple of people that wanted to know
Oh,
where
no,
I
we
got
didn't
it
ask
from.
for any further details.
And so I said, let's get some, you two should get a tap as well. And then I said, we can be triplets. And then Steve on Instagram says, no, we'll be taplets. So we're even having a bit of fun.
Wow. What that was...
It's the tap community, you're not part of it.
Which bit was the fun bit?
It's the taplets part, like as in triplets, but taplets. It was very clever,
Harry, can you press a button really rapidly, please? Anything. No, not that one.
Yes, Harry. Yeah, it's great.
There are people lying in bed who've just wet the bed now because of you.
Travel stress can take a hike.
With lots of fully refundable hotels, whatif.com has got you covered.
Just remember, booking cancellation windows apply.
So go on, relax and book your next trip with confidence at whatif.com.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Some people really like to go through the bins.
Oh, I love
Well, in this
trash.
day and age of
Anything
increasing food prices, you can see where they're coming from.
Dumpster diving, we've heard about it for
Yeah.
years and years and years.
It's been a thing for a while.
The news.com.au team followed a 31-year-old guy named William Smith who sources 75% of the food he eats through dumpsters by going to supermarkets and sorting through what they throw out. Because as we know, supermarkets are very vigilant and sometimes get rid of perfectly good things.
Yeah, or things that are right on the edge of the use-by date.
Yeah. So he's got some rules. He says if there's meat and the package is swollen, that's a sign there's gassing.
Yes, it's true.
Sorry, just everything about
Well
the
spotted.
sentence is disgusting.
Well spotted, William.
If your meat is gassing, you will not
Yes.
eat it.
No, good.
That's great.
Good policy.
Around the bin were ready-made meals like discounted brown rice and curry packs and a roast chicken and veggies as well, which he picked up. I don't think I'll pull a roast chicken out of a bin.
No, I think he, as a meal, I think that it was whole roast chicken.
He pulls hot chickens.
Like the bachelor's handbag.
Yeah, they'll pull a they'll pull a roast chicken. I wouldn't pull a roast chicken.
No, I don't think I would like because
unless they just throw it in. If I saw them throw it in,
it would have the bag would have to be very sealed. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And it couldn't have been in there for several hours
No.
because I don't want to
Look at you and your standards.
I know. I've eaten food out of the bin, by the way. My bin. I put it in there and then I took it out. Tonight.
What? You know people can hear you, right?
You know when you think you're done and then you throw it away and you go, no, I'll have some more chips.
No.
And then you go into the bin and you have the chips. That's why now I spray and wipe my food when I put it in the bin.
Well, that's called clean eating.
So, yeah, so I don't. So I don't pull it back out again. The star of the haul of when they were following in that
So he
night,
goes every night at about 10:30 because that's when the supermarkets tend to chuck it out.
was a dozen packets of hot smoked ocean trout and 6 packets of smoked salmon.
I buy that smoked salmon and it is delicious.
Yeah, but I don't know. Would you pull it out of a bin and eat it? There was 5 days left before the expiry date.
Yeah, it's in and it's very sealed. Like,
Yeah, super sealed.
yeah. It's not like just slabs of smoked salmon lying around in the bin.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, that's...
Would you pull
probably.
out?
I would eat that.
I would just be very hesitant pulling fish out of a bin.
Now you've got standards.
No, you know what I mean? A dim sum, perhaps. But I don't think fish. Harry, would you pull fish out of a bin and eat it?
No.
It's smoked fish, though.
And he lives with like 3 other guys, too. Like, if
Yeah.
anyone was going to do it, it'd be him.
I don't have many standards, but that's where I draw the line.
What, bin
It's
fish?
smoked
Bin
salmon.
fish, yeah, bacterial, mouldy, gross bin fish.
But it's not. It's still in date.
And it is vacuum
And it's only
sealed.
just been thrown out.
No, if you put it that way.
Yeah.
Load me up.
Yeah. All right. So he said that not just supermarket bins. He actually goes to residential bins around apartment complexes. He said especially the best part is finding a house, and I know this is probably do a little bit of stalking, but if you come across someone that's going through a divorce because they're so angry they just throw things out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he said he went through a phase of collecting stuff like suitcases and knife sets, anything he could find like small furniture and lamps. He put them on Facebook Marketplace for $10 or $20. He said if you did that for 40 hours a week, you could maybe make $500 or $600.
Well, you could get a job.
Yeah.
He's doing 40 hours a week of it.
His favourite item he's ever pulled out of the bin is a black waterproof jacket. He says that's he wears it all the time, and he was wearing it on the
Was it a bin bag?
during the
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Oh, I love trash.
That's right. Bins are like shopping.
One man's trash is another man's treasure,
It
as they
is.
say, don't they, Brian Morris?
Yes, we are talking about the best thing that you have pulled out of a bin.
Paul's in Balcatta. Morning, Paul.
Morning.
Hey, Paul.
All right, Paul, talk to us. What'd you find in the bin?
I went looking for a bin once, as you do, and I come across like a fruit bowl, crystal fruit bowl.
Yes.
And it was worth $750.
Bloody hell.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. It must have looked good to somebody because it looked really weird to me.
Okay, so Paul, talk to me because you said I was going through the bins as you do. Did you go? You went through a bit of a bin diving phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you?
I think everybody does in their late teens.
When I was younger, we used to go at the back of Kmart on our BMXs, and my brother and I, we found, and I don't know why they were thrown out because I'm pretty sure they don't expire, but we found several Cabbage Patch dolls, and
They were the possessed ones.
So excited, the Chuckies.
Yes.
And and we're like just dishing out Cabbage Patch dolls to people left, right, and centre. We were like an adoption centre for like Cabbage Patches. What did you do with the bowl, Paul?
I'll give it to my auntie.
As a present?
Like wrapped up and everything?
She was into all that sort of stuff, so...
Oh, into crystal fruit bowls.
No, stuff you find in bins.
She was into that kind of stuff. Not for Paul, though. He thinks it's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's right. Looks a bit weird. Good on you, Paul.
Hey there, Paul. Did you tell her that it was from the bin, or you just said you gave it to her as a present?
Oh, no way. I would never tell her that.
No, exactly. She thinks he spent $700 on her.
I mean, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. Nice work. We're going to go from one Paul to another. This is Paul from Clarkson. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Seems like this is just a thing that Pauls do, Paul.
Must be.
All right. What have you found in a bin, Paul?
I was actually driving skip-in trucks for a couple of years.
Oh.
So we used to get first dibs on everything. So you find all kinds of stuff in there. But yeah, the best one was we cleaned out a hotel, a very popular hotel in Perth, and it was a massive bin full of out-of-date cartons of cruisers and double blacks.
They don't go particularly off, do they?
Don't do they?
That tasted fine to me.
How
Just you and your watermelon cruises, living life.
So
wouldn't you?
I took as many as I could. I took about 20, filled up my car, and had them all stacked in my garage. So all my friends would come around and get pissed for free.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry. How successful do you look? You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Your friends come over and you've basically
Drinks are
got
on
like
me.
a fully stacked bar.
Yeah.
I mean, a fully stacked bar for a 17-year-old.
That's right.
But a fully
You don't know
stacked
who
bar,
his friends are?
Nevertheless, you must have seen some people throw away some great stuff, Paul.
Oh, weird and wonderful things. Yeah.
Right.
Used to be a lot of wands in some of them
Right.
when you tip them out.
Some wands.
Wands.
Some
The
Harry Potter.
special lady wands.
Wobbly
No,
sausages.
magic wands.
Oh, right. Well, I'm pretty sure they're going right near a Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for that insight.
Do
13.
ladies just throw their wands
I
out
don't
once
know.
they're done? Don't you pass them down generations?
Yeah, it is a family heirloom, Nathan. This was your great grandnana's.
It's wood and you've got to turn it for it to.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
So, Ali, we've been talking about dumpster diving, right? And people pulling out food and various things. We just heard from the two Pauls. One Paul, he pulled out a crystal fruit bowl and gave it to his auntie as a present. If you like that sort of thing, he says.
Yes.
$700 it was. And then Paul from Clarkson, he pulled out a whole bunch of out-of-date booze out of a skip bin, all like cruises and stuff. Which out of those two would you have gone into the bin for? The crystal bowl? Crystal
If
fruit
I knew
bowl?
the crystal bowl was worth $700, I'd
I think you'd be able to tell a $700 crystal fruit
really.
bowl.
Would
wouldn't
you?
You pick it up and
mean,
probably feel how heavy it is.
yeah.
And go, like, if you know what
Well, that means you have to
crystal
go
is.
into the dumpster first to find.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
So crystal fruit bowl or a whole lot of out-of-date booze?
The crystal bowl, darling.
I'll turn it up.
You get a crystal bowl and pour the booze in.
Heartbeat.
Use that as a
Don't
cup.
pretend you're fancy.
Oh, please. God,
Jeez.
you're a liar.
Miles is in Belmont. Hi, Miles.
Hi, how you doing?
Good,
Good,
Miles.
buddy. Okay, what have you found in a bin?
Well, first of all, you've got to be committed to actually getting into the bin to find the good stuff. I think that's the first tip. The best thing I found, I suppose, is a diamond necklace worth about $900.
What?
Yeah.
Who throws out a diamond necklace? You're in Peppermint Grove, aren't you?
No, just in Belmont. Just I think people get either kicked out of their house or just throw stuff out, and I found Gucci sunnies, like antique jewellery,
Sunnies.
like clothing, like designer clothing.
Dude, you used to have to go to King Street to
I
get all this
know.
stuff, and we go to a Belmont bin.
Do you do this regularly, Miles?
Yeah, it's sort of a hobby, really.
Yeah,
to be
right.
honest.
Oh, wow.
So you just like drive around, and when you see a skip bin, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to have a look at that."
Yeah, I can't help myself.
All right, Miles.
No, I'm-
So the diamond necklace, where did that go?
I went to a friend, actually, who gave to his girlfriend.
Okay. And does the girlfriend know
bet he
that it
didn't tell
came
her.
from a bin?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
But she got a value and it was $900.
Oh, well, and then you don't care. I mean,
Yeah, that's right. You
wouldn't care what was
Spray
hanging
and
off
wipe
it.
it. It'll be good to go.
Just get the banana
Yeah,
peel off it
exactly.
and go, oh, okay. And then say the Gucci Sunnies, who do they go to?
I've still got those.
Yeah.
Oh, they're for you.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Jeez. You know what? Go on shopping with Miles.
I know. Nice work. Thanks, Miles.
Yeah.
Chris is in Armadale. Hello.
How you going?
Hey,
Good,
Chris,
buddy.
Good.
It's funny how it's just all the guys talking to us about dumpster diving, isn't it?
Ladies acting like they
We're
don't
too
go into the bin.
fancy.
Please.
Yeah, they're probably just a shame, that's all.
Yeah. Now, what have you found in the bin, Chris?
I found that it was for me boy. I found a Batman remote controlled car. It was just it was brand new in a box in the back of the Toy World bin.
Oh, a Toy World bin. Didn't even think about that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, all that was wrong with it, the test me button didn't work, so the batteries were corroded, so a new set of batteries and away she went. Yeah.
Oh, so when you press the
Yeah,
test me
nothing
and nothing
happened.
happened, and they went, okay, it's broken, but it was the batteries.
Yeah, and
That's
they
a
just can't
great
have it on
get,
the shelf,
Chris.
obviously. Yeah,
Okay,
it was
Chris.
awesome.
So once you score something really great, you go back again and again and again to see if it was going to happen. Did you do that?
Of course.
Yeah.
And never
Anything
never
else?
anything as good as
Yeah,
the
I've
Batman?
got a big bouncy castle, blow up bouncy castle. Most things I just either get it back and you just fix them, patch them, whatever they need. And then,
Amazing.
away you go.
Amazing.
Yeah, kids love it.
Mate, all right.
I bet they
Yeah.
do.
You know what, everyone?
Yeah.
Look at the shop that you like.
Yeah. And then go around the back
Go
and look
around
in
the
their
back
bin.
and go in their bins.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
we watched the new show Hunted.
I didn't mind it.
Is
I don't mind
okay
it.
if you put aside the fact that it is so contrived.
I know. I mean, you could totally find out where they are because they've got a cameraman with them at all times.
That's
so
it. They go. There's a convert. Was it? No, a covert.
Covert?
Covert. Cameraman with them. It's like, well,
and even like they were in a different car
And
because
also-
they had
also-
footage of the girls in the white car from another vehicle.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not very covert. You're in another car.
Yeah. So the idea is all these teams of two are let out in Melbourne, and then they've got to disappear, get off the grid, and they've got to avoid being
Hunted
captured
down. Yep.
by the hunters. And
The hunters have access to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So, they can, they've got your phones and your tech for
Yep.
starters. So
Yep.
that would never happen in real life. You take your phone with you. surely.
What's really interesting about it is if you right now are doing something where you think I'm going to have to get off the grid soon and make a run for it, watch this show.
Yeah, that's right.
It gives you
It's very
really
instructional.
great insight into things that we don't even think about. And
Yes.
they said the one thing about this is when people think that they're making a run for it and they're being very successful, the thing that's always going to catch them out is technology that we don't even know exists.
Yes.
One of which is they can track, I'm guessing, any modern car.
They were talking about cars in the last couple of
Yes.
years have this thing called metadata that can be accessed.
So-
That literally pinpoints it like Find My iPhone.
Those two chicks accosted these two locals in a town, jumped in her car, and just from the fact that they saw the car on the CCTV TV footage, they end up getting the number plate of that car. Then they hacked into that car. And this girl wasn't part of the show.
It was a Nissan Qashqai.
Yes. And then they followed them to a caravan park, and then tonight
So
we'll see.
and they were taking all the back roads and everything to
Yeah.
avoid any
Yeah.
other security
Yeah.
cameras. They were so confident. Little did they know they were being tracked the whole
So
time.
that's one thing that you would never think about. Anyway,
No.
when they get, and this is just a TV show, by the way, when they get to the caravan park, and that'll carry on for tonight's episode, they're just walking around screaming out the two girls' names. And then
The
if
hunters,
the people aren't answering in the tents, they're unzipping the tents and having a look inside. It's like,
But they were looking in gigantic, like,
No, no,
eight-man
no.
tents. There's no way
Don't
those
worry
two girls
about-
had an eight-man tent.
don't worry about the tent. Worry about the fact that you're a TV show. You've got no right to unzip my tent and look for your cast members. Are you serious? Just because I'm not answering to two girls' names which aren't my name doesn't give you the right to come into
Also,
my tent.
They reckon these hunters are like crack operatives. Why would you yell out the names of the people that you're hunting?
gosh.
Because isn't that just going to alert them to the fact that you're after them?
Anyway, it's all right. If you didn't check it out last night, have
It
a
is
look.
fun.
Like we're saying,
it makes you think, what would you do
Yeah,
if
it
you were
is-
avoiding capture?
It is contrived. I don't know how long it's going to hold my attention, but I'll give it a couple of more episodes. But last night, it was really funny, this part. There's two girls on the run called Erin and Chloe.
So these
and-
are the ones we're talking about in the caravan park?
Yes, and they were about to go camping, right? So they thought they were going to like go off and like just get off the grid that way. So they're there out the front of someone's place, and they've put their backpacks on, and they're starting to look through their backpacks just to make sure that they're packed all properly. Now, Chloe, right, she's opened up her backpack and she's taken a step back and reacted and then walked off to the point where we were like, what is in that backpack? I thought it might have been something like a handgun.
She reacted
Or-
like I would react if I saw a snake. Like
Or-
fully
or a
jumped backwards
snake.
and then was speechless, couldn't talk.
Or imagine like a naked photo of your parents, like something truly horrific that really affected her, and you were like, whoa, what was that? Anyway, this is what it was.
Oh my god. What? What's wrong? You okay? What's wrong? There's a grasshopper. Are you okay? Is that seriously, are you okay? Not really? Grasshoppers.
I love that her teammate's like, are you serious? Is that it? Like, yeah. So then her teammate had to go through everything to find the grass. That girl had like survived cancer. She's a helicopter pilot, everything. Like she's so accomplished. Brought to her knees by a grasshopper.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because I understand snakes, I understand sharks.
Yeah, because they can kill you.
I can understand birds to a point.
And
even think
spiders,
like
because
it's
they
funny.
also can, cause harm.
Things like a grasshopper, or some people are terrified of ladybugs. Like, are
it
you
couldn't
serious?
be more innocuous.
Praying mantises, they look like they
I know, but they're not going to kill you.
They could pack a punch.
They
I could even
don't.
understand that. But like, are you kidding?
No, a grasshopper. Bless her. It's going to be tough from here on in, isn't it?
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
There is a certain time in the year where you want to drive around the streets and look for somebody that possibly plays Dungeons and Dragons, take them in your car, give them a makeover, and teach them how to love. That's right, everybody. Beauty and the Geek is kicked off for 2022.
Beauty and the Geek season.
It's so
It is an adorable show. Like, it has such a pure heart, doesn't it?
They really, everyone's there for a lot of TV shows. Look, and they probably are there to become famous or whatever. But this, I mean, no one's ever become famous from Beauty and the Geek. But it just seems to be that they're really there to help each other out.
There's a lot of innocence about it. Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
There's no backstabbing, no throwing red wine over one another at dinner parties. You know what I mean?
Geek Aaron, he is a train driver, which of course I connect with because my father is a train driver.
I mean, the Marlene and Brian story is Beauty and the Geek, isn't it?
It is.
You're the beauty, Marlene.
Yeah, so coming from train driver stock, I really connect with Aaron.
Sure.
Not only does Aaron drive trains, but Aaron is a train spotter as well. He loves watching trains, and what are you going to do if you drive them and watch them?
Collect them.
You're going to collect them as well.
Of course you are.
He has a giant train collection. He absolutely adores his carriages, and to the point where...
Is this a euphemism for something? Or no, he's just talking about trains.
Yeah. He's never let anyone touch any of his trains.
Still not a euphemism?
Not even his caboose.
So... No one's allowed to touch it, but they're only for looking, not touching.
Yep. So
because they're precious.
All the geeks don't pack light. They've all taken those big hotel trolleys where the valet.
Oh yes, yeah.
So they're just packed full of their interests,
their geekiness.
So like the Harry Potter kid's got 100 Harry Potter dolls, of course he does, and like wands and cloaks and everything.
Well, you can't leave it behind, Nathan.
They have to bring all their favourite things. So Geek Aaron, he's brought a lot of his collectible trains, in which his roommate Jaden was specifically, without question, told, you cannot touch these.
No, well, they're precious.
Yeah, okay. But then Carly, who's from WA, she's a hairdresser, one of the beauties, she's wandered into his room, and within 5 seconds, he's got his train in her hands.
Is it a euphemism?
And Jaden was not happy about it. Here's how that went down.
This is a very spiritual moment. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
I know not to touch his train. As soon as a beauty walked through the door, he's like, here, my train, touch it. Go ahead.
This is so special.
I would say, hand on heart, you're the first person who isn't me to hold this.
Oh my God.
I was well aware that this was a very big milestone. A connection was already forming, and I'm hoping that she felt that too.
I'm just going to take this moment in.
I'm sure she take this moment in.
I'm sure she was the first person that wasn't you to touch it.
Is it a euphemism yet?
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
One of the geeks on Beauty and the Geek let one of the beauties touch his train. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but no one had ever touched that train except him.
I know. So we are talking...
And she just waltzed in and touched it.
We are talking about things that no one else is allowed to touch at your place. Andrew's in Armidale. Hi, Andrew.
How you going?
Yeah, good, Andrew.
Good, buddy.
All right,
what aren't we allowed to touch if we come to your house, Andrew?
Not allowed to touch my dice. They are for Dungeons and Dragons only. If anyone affects my luck, they will have to deal with me.
Andrew, are you auditioning for Beauty and the Geek right now? What's happening?
No, I am not. Luckily, I have a lovely missus who also shares the same hobbies.
Oh,
she
you
also
found
plays
each
Dungeons
other.
And Dragons,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I will not touch her dice.
No, or you would never.
Okay.
You're a gentleman.
Andrew, may I ask what's so special about the dice? Are they, tell me about the dice.
Well, I have many sets. I've got between 100 and 200 dice at the moment. Some have been through rigorous training schedules to make sure that they roll better numbers. Some are just very kind to me. And
sure, they got a lot of luck.
Unfortunately, have ended up in the fire.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so tell me, how much is it expensive to get a good set of dice these days?
Oh, for a good set of dice, you're spending between $2 and $50 for a set of dice, and you get 7 dice in each set.
What's the prize dice of your collection?
It's one that my son got me for Father's Day that really loves abusing all the players at my table.
Really? I love that you and your partner found each other. So was she a D&D player as well before you met her? Or
Yeah, so she was a player and I was the dungeon master.
Oh!
You used your powers.
I would have thought that would have been a frowned upon situation, like a professor and a student.
Well, that's the good thing about D&D. The Dungeon Master gets to make all the rules.
There you go.
Wow. Wow. How's the dungeon at your house? Do you make the rules in those? Hey?
They are.
Don't touch Andrew's dice, everybody. We've learned that. We move on now to our next caller.
Oh.
You may know him as Lockie from The Bachelor. Morning, Lockie.
Lockie Gilbert.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Lockie.
Hey, congrats on the engagement, big fella.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm here with Irina as well.
Hi, Irina.
Morning.
Hi, sweetheart. You look like I thought you were going to drop the ring in the waterfall. By the way, that was a
Legit
nerve-wracking situation.
Of course, I do it over a waterfall. Have to make it a little bit adventurous.
You just won't let that girl inside, will you?
We've been doing Irina. We wanted to speak to you for a second, quickly. Okay, since you came to WA, that bastard has made you hang off cliffs, jump off planes. Do you just want to go to the cinema one day?
And you know what? He calls me not adventurous. Jumping in the water with great white sharks, crocodiles, jumping out of a plane, everything. Yeah, I'm not adventurous.
Okay. Hey, so we're talking about things that you're not allowed to touch at your place. Who's called in with this example?
Well, because I had no idea about the display towel thing. First time I went to Irina's house in Melbourne, I got out of the shower and I'm looking around for a towel and I'm like, oh, this towel seems fine. So I use that and I come out with it wrapped around me and then, I got a bollocking from her and her mum.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. So then I go next day and then I use the bloody oven display towel. And then I'm sitting on the display pillows and I had no idea it was a thing. So I put it out to social media and then every single Macedonian got back to me. Oh, and it's a WOG thing. It's a WOG thing. It's a WOG thing.
Well, Ellie's Croatian, so this might hold up. That's true.
I think it is. Well, your mum's Croatian. So, but I had no idea about the display thing. Now, for our new house, we've got all these towels, but I'm not allowed to touch them.
So, do you just have some dirty old rag that you have to dry off with out the shed or something?
Yeah. That's fine. It never dries.
Irina, where are you keeping the towels that you use? Because if the ones you're not allowed to touch are all hanging up, where are the useful ones going?
No, he's got beautiful, nice white Sheridan Lux towels.
Yeah, I can't even use my Kmart towels anymore. It's all the Lux WOG towels.
They're the best, my baby.
Oh, mate, you've signed up for that.
I know, that's right. You put a ring on it. You're locked in now.
I'm in it now.
Yeah, maybe let her go to the cinema and sure it relax the towel policy.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're inspired by one of the geeks on Beauty and the Geek last night who he has never let anybody else touch one of his model trains ever until a beauty walked into his life and he's like, here, touch my train.
Little Aaron, the train driver. It's so sweet. We are talking about things that no one else is allowed to touch at your joint. Emily's in Janebrook. Hi, Em.
Hi.
Hi.
All right, Em. We come to your house. What aren't we allowed to touch?
It's actually my partner. He has a collection of die-cast cars.
Oh.
That's supercar models.
Yes.
And we have a room that's baby gated off so that no children or anyone can kind of go in there unless he says.
It's baby gated off.
Yeah.
So, and that's just not to keep babies out, of course. That is to keep out. That is a symbol.
Everyone
of staying the F out.
It's the Great Wall of China, essentially.
All right. So,
it is.
How many of these cars?
He's probably got, I don't know, like 2,000 or 3,000, maybe.
What?
What's this collection worth, Emily? Do you know?
I couldn't even tell
you. Don't want to think about it?
You don't even care, do you?
I don't know.
When you walked into this relationship, were you fully aware of what was happening, or did he spring this on you? Was this a bait and switch situation?
No, he had a few before we got together, so I knew he had a bit of a collection, but it's grown over the few years we've been together.
Has there been some conversations about its size?
Perhaps curtailing or keeping it as is?
It's his thing.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful. So have you ever been allowed to touch one?
Yes, when they first come out of the box, but most of the time, most of them are they stay in their box and you're allowed to touch the box only.
Do you like the fact that you know exactly the room in which his kryptonite lay, and at any time,
Yes.
with any argument, you can walk in there, grab one of those boxes, and threaten to either just tear the packaging
or
smash it
stomp on
against
it.
the wall, and you know that he will stop whatever he's doing? Do you know the power you've
I don't
got?
know whether I'd want to do that.
Are
I
you
might not
joking?
be alone.
Any woman,
know
I think,
whether-
listening right now would like to know that they have the power to be. Amy, would you like to know that there is something that you could do to Alex, your partner, that would stop him in his tracks?
Yeah, because it's a bit.
It's just
like kind of like
And there's a room of it.
Yeah.
Literally, you could walk in and grab any. Don't even have to be picky.
She can't, Nathan. There's a baby gate in the way.
Oh, you're right.
It's not possible.
The ultimate boom gate.
That's right. Thanks, Emily. Mel's in Bateman. Morning, Mel.
Good morning.
Hi,
All right, Mel. We're coming to your house. What aren't we allowed to touch?
The Christmas tree.
Mel.
I get everyone excited for the 1st of December. We play Mariah Carey, all of that, but the children, like my boys, have to just sit and watch Mummy put the tree up and put the decorations
Is it
up.
because they don't do it properly?
Absolutely.
Can I just
To make
say,
it cool.
there is something so, firstly, funny and secondly, so cruel about, and it's only happened, I don't think it was ever back in the day.
This is a new thing.
Our parents didn't give a crap what
This
the
is
tree looked
Instagram
like.
Christmas, yeah.
So you've got the
I
pieces.
have a separate tree.
Yep.
I have a separate tree for all the crap they make at school, like all of that stuff.
And that gets put up in the shed. It's beautiful.
That gets put upstairs in their area so they can look at their stuff.
Mel.
They can touch it, move it, whatever. Just don't touch Mummy's tree.
Okay, Mel, so, okay.
We've got questions.
I want to go into the world in which the kids have grabbed one of your, I'm guessing it's a glass bauble. You would have the nice ones.
Oh, good Lord.
A glass
Yeah, no.
bauble, and you've had a smash. How much trouble
Yeah.
are they in? Like, how much will you
They're in
fly?
big trouble. Like, we're talking no video games for like 2 weeks or something, or more.
Would you scream,
that.
like scream and lose your mind?
I'd just take a big breath in
No, you
and be
wouldn't.
like,
No, you
stay in the
wouldn't.
Christmas spirit.
Oh, shut up! Oh my God! Don't act.
We know.
We're not-
Nobody's in the Christmas spirit.
This isn't
saying,
an
"Hands off my tree."
Instagram post, mate.
Yes.
We know you'd lose your effing mind.
Yeah, look, okay, yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay, Mel, so do we change the aesthetic every year, or do you have the one aesthetic that you
Slightly.
receive?
Slightly.
Yeah.
I've only just, my husband doesn't know how much I spent last year, but I've only just redecorated the tree because we've grown we've got a 7-foot tree now.
Oh, the
So
tree
I
grew.
had
We should
to
be watering
redecorate.
it.
Yeah.
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 All right.
So
Can you whisper to us how much you've spent?
like over 1,000.
That's not on the tree. That's on the decorations only. It's a lot of tinsel.
Absolutely.
And okay, so have you started planning? It's already July. Have you started planning this year's tree?
Look, not yet, but you know, we'll get onto it soon.
And when does it go up? Because if you're that into it, it's not going up on the 1st of December, is it?
Look, if I get too into it, like it'll go up a week before, but I try and stay traditional.
Right.
The 1st of December, but yeah, look, it creeps forward all the time.
Oh, sweetheart. Sounds like it sounds like it consumes a lot of your time,
Yeah.
which is fine. Did your husband have anything of that he won't let you touch?
I'm not allowed near his tools and stuff like that because
Yeah.
it's a complete mess, but he knows where everything is.
Okay. Yes.
But, you know,
Yeah.
we know where we stand with each other
Okay.
with our things.
Does your husband have something that he wants you to touch and you won't?
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Here we go with Sean LaSport.
Oh, pretty
welcome.
exciting.
Our good friend, Steve Butler. Hello.
Yes, good morning. Hey, Nathan.
What?
You can come round to my place and touch whatever you want, mate.
That could not have sounded creepier if you tried.
Will you let me touch your train? Oh, my God. Hey, Steve. So,
I took the guy off the tracks early.
hey, Steve, do you live in a display towel house?
In a display townhouse.
No, towel.
We've
like
got display towels. Display pillows.
Display towel house.
Well, it's like, so Ali, I'm going to discuss early tomorrow morning, she still has display tea towels hanging off her oven door, which I think is so bloody 15
they're
years
for display,
ago.
not for using.
Yes, but then there's display towels where you're just hung up and you're not allowed to use the towel.
No, I do buy some every now and then, but I use them. You know, the ones hanging off the stove, they've got COVID snot all over them.
Yeah.
Nice. That's an image. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So how about Sean?
It's got a nano tiger as well, if that helps.
How about Sean,
well,
by the
I'm a bit
way?
worried about Sean. Well, I'm a bit worried about that because I've seen some photographs circulating in the last 24 hours of Sean in the retro Fremantle game
Yes.
with the Fremantle players.
Dude, he's been out and about. There is not one
Do we know
person.
when those photos were taken?
No, but it's a bit disturbing, isn't it?
There is not one person that Sean hasn't spoken to all weekend. He actually felt something weird in his throat on Friday. Sat there during the entire show, never told us about it. And then around 8
started
o'clock,
to sound
waited
croaky.
until Jeremy McGovern was in the room until he announced that, mate, maybe there's something wrong with me. He did test
What does that
negative.
say about you two? Do you think any thoughts for you?
Oh, we know where we stand.
indeed.
There's never been any
No
question
doubts
about
there.
that. We know where we stand. Yeah, and then he goes, no, I've done a rat test, and then he went to do the rat test, and we can tell from why he was doing his rat test, Natalie.
He'd never done one before.
He'd never done a rat test
he
before.
did not know how the nasal one works.
Yes.
And we're like, what are you
What
doing?
are you talking about? Like, you should have taken many by now, because you've said you've taken many by now. He did not know what was happening.
Have either of you had the Rona yet?
No.
No.
Oh, and he's done that to you. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a
Oh,
matter
well.
of time now, obviously.
Yeah, well, I've just got over it after last week, and it wasn't too unpleasant, but you punch back bravely.
Yeah.
But I think those retro Fremantle jumpers look good.
Are they good?
Do you think?
Very nice. I like the old 3D anchor.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. Yeah, I like it when
I
that
enjoy
sort of stuff pops up.
The picture of Griffin Logue with the boombox on his shoulder. 'cause-
Yeah, how good that is.
I know.
He's a bit of a throwback, isn't he?
Yeah.
A
little
like
bit,
our
yeah.
new golfing champion.
Yeah. Oh, how is that, by
Yeah.
the way?
Well, Cam Smith, it was one of the most epic moments in sport we've seen for a while. I mean, we've just had Jai Hindley win the Giro d'Italia, so the Italian version of the Tour de France, and now we get Cam Smith winning the British Open, and that's a huge thing. I did note a great tweet from David Short from the CAB. Well done, Cam Smith. The mullet, the penguin shirt, and the great big cheeky smile. It's like they put him in a carbon freeze in the late 80s and brought him out in 2022.
It is so
I think that's
true.
just about perfect. And
Isn't
then
it?
all he wants to do when they give him the famous claret jug, only the fifth Aussie to do it, by the way,
Yeah.
is fill it with beer.
Yeah.
I
What a
love
legend.
it.
Has anybody put Cam Smith and Luke Travers in the same room?
Well, I think Cam's a bit more bogan than Luke, even though he's from Rocco.
Yeah.
But and he's doing well too, Luke Travis.
He is, for the Cavs.
This is just extraordinary. When you think Peter Thompson won it 5 times.
Yeah.
Greg Norman was the last one to win it. He won his second 29 years ago. Kel Nagel, Ian Baker Finch, and now Cam Smith. And he's certainly a lot different to those four, I can give you the tip. And he's as bogan as they come. It's a great mullet, as Shorty said. And, gee, it's just, when you think it's only 5 Aussies who've ever done it. And you think, Victor Hovland was one of the overnight leaders, and Cam Smith beat him by 10 strokes today. 10 strokes he beat him by in the final round, the co-leader.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary stuff, like 5 birdies in a row in the back 9.
Yeah.
I tell you,
It's a freak.
It is
Around
Joe
the
Dirt
Open.
meets Happy Gilmore, isn't it? It's so good. So yeah, I love that. I love it when there is a
think we gotta
sporting star that doesn't look like a sporting star, because it means the rest of us can do it. Perhaps.
Bit like Sam Draper for Essendon.
Oh, do you want to talk? You want to talk about him, don't you?
Well, your team's lost. Obviously, Sean's not here, but
Yes.
Fremantle and West Coast both had losses. It's very rare that Essendon have had a win on the weekend where your team have both lost. So
That's true.
We'll take that. And I'll tell you what, we watched the footy for big moments, and there, watchable moments, and there was no more watchable over the weekend than Sam Draper's goal in the last.
I mean,
quarter.
you
Now, he's a
say
big-
that, except no one was watching it, Steve.
My dog and I were. So
Yeah.
This is a big lumbering ruckman with the big mullet, as bogan as Cam Smith, and he gets the ball in the middle and he just runs the full length, knocking blokes over at will and snaps one off his big lumbering right foot to finish. It's the goal of the year in the AFL. If you haven't seen it, you've got to go.
That's
and get
also
a
a
look at it.
1983 throwback, really, isn't it?
Oh, plus, he's nearly 70s throwback, this bloke, and to see the reaction and then the crowd go nuts in a year that's been pretty ordinary for Essendon, I thought that was a particularly good moment, and I loved it.
Now, there's one thing to have a mullet, but there's another thing to pair it with a little mustache. Now,
a little tash.
Yeah, where do we stand with mustaches these days, Natalie?
Well, they're coming back.
But I don't see a need for it.
What?
I know. I know there's no need, but
what need could you possibly?
I don't know, but I know that it was a style there. But I just don't think I don't think a mustache has ever added anything to anyone except for Tom Selleck, who when he shaved it off, he looked weird.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But it's only because we only even knew him with a mustache.
What about Murph Hughes?
Yeah, no, good example.
Well, Murph Hugh, but
yes.
yeah, and he was synonymous with it.
Yes.
Have you ever
What
had a
about
mustache?
Yosemite Sam?
Have you ever? Have you ever had a mustache? What about Hitler? Have you ever had a mustache, Steve?
I had a little goatee for a while, which included a mustache. It wasn't very good. I'll try and find a photo of it and send it to you. It wasn't very good. It's a bit disturbing, actually.
I can't imagine you with a mustache and a
Well,
goatee.
it's a bit tortoiseshell. It's like a bit of orange, black,
like a stray cat.
Yeah, awful. And you just want to swing it by the tail,
like a tabby.
Yeah, bad. It's no good at all.
Anything else in sport? No, that's about it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's not too much. So you can't get much better than Cam Smith, can you?
I think that is the pinnacle. Well and truly. A bit of athletics, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe looking at your forward line, Nat, the Eagles, maybe you could go and get Mark Lacroix back.
I know. What did he kick? 15 or something? 12? Or was it?
He kicked 15 goals for Cervantes on the weekend.
Yeah.
Wow. And that'd be hard to play around those, wouldn't it? The Pinnacles.
Oh, I tell you what, there's a bit of wind up there on those ovals up there.
The Tiger Sharks.
Hey, Steve, we're actually outsourcing Sean Sports this week. We've asked people if they think that they can do it to slide into our DMs, Nathan, Nat and Sean, and we'll give them an opportunity to do a Sean Sport. Show everyone how easy it is, hey?
Well, if they've listened in, they would have heard what not to do, so that's a very good start.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Basically, what you do is you get the paper, turn it to the back, and pick a story and talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the McManus method.
That's what everyone does with the paper anyway.
And even if it's the Harvey Norman catalogue, we'll take it.
Exactly. We read out the death notices.
How many months interest free? Tell me more.
There's a bit of sport there at specials time, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Charging in, hip and shoulder, away you go, bang.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Steve.
Right, I'll expect you around later on, Nathan. I'm preparing everything as we speak.
You can touch anything.
Anything you like.
Thanks, Steve.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.